T-minus 1 minute and counting. Four, three, two, one.
Ciao from the beautiful blue skies of Italy. Welcome to the Flyer Show.
Hello and welcome to the Flyer Show from the studio in Wadswick, where the wall is progressing slowly. We're still looking for a few more bits and pieces. My name's Ian Seeger.
I'm Ed Hicks.
And I'm Dave Corderwood.
Today we'll be talking to Owain Johns, who's the new CEO of the BMAA. Plus there's news of... What's there news of?
There's an award for a friend of Flyer.
Excellent. That's always good.
There's a new airfield
A new air...
with an iconic British name.
Blimey. I've got news of some CAA seminar webinar things.
And one of our big airline training academies has ordered 5 diesel Pipers,
Wow.
twins.
First of all, however, a big thanks to SkyDemon. Thank you very much, SkyDemon, for supporting the live stream. Here is your top tip.
Hi, I'm Hannah from SkyDemon, and this is this week's top tip.
In your logs library, you'll find the option to view a summary of all of your logs under the View All Flight Times button. Choose the date range and the timings you want to include in your summary. For example, you can show blocks times and engine times in addition to your takeoff and landing times if they've been logged. A summary will then be generated showing all of the logs within that period that you've saved in your cloud, so that you can easily copy the timings into your paper logbook. You can even email yourself a copy or print it out.
For more information, go to our website, skydemon.aero.
Well, my mind is blown because I've been updating my logbook in completely the wrong way. So it's, you know when you watch something and you go, where was that been all my life?
I know. So I remember when I was first learning to fly, I really looked forward to that extra line in the logbook, and like when you completed
remarks? Didn't crash.
No, when you I can put another entry in my logbook, and it seemed to take forever to fill a page because you'd have lessons so infrequently, and the weather was rubbish and stuff like that. And now I'm sad to say that it kind of about 2 or 3 times a year I have to complete my logbook, which always involves dredging up bits of paper and other bits of electronic bits and pieces.
I can clearly see I've been doing it wrong, and actually Hannah has shown me the way.
Jolly good. Well done, Hannah. Okay.
Talking of showing the way, shall we see what way Simon says the weather's going to go
Whether we
this weekend?
see the weather. Absolutely.
Evening, everyone. Hope you're well this evening and getting ready for flying this weekend. Got to make the most of it over the next couple of days. Things are going to be turning more unsettled as we go to the weekend, so get ready for that. This is the forecast for tomorrow morning. Now, I'm going to be using the icon model again because it gives us a better idea as to what's going on. The times here are in the top right hand corner. So for tomorrow morning, we've got a weak front that's through northeastern parts of Scotland, just bringing some bits of showery rain here. 1 or 2 bits of showery rain lying through the channel as well. Elsewhere, I think we're going to be seeing some fog patches across parts of Wales, across parts of northern England, and into parts of Scotland. Now, they should lift during the course of the morning. And then I think what we're going to be finding is broken cloud through the day. Still fairly misty and murky across many central, northern and eastern areas. And you can see there 1 or 2 spots of rain just getting onto those eastern coasts. Winds picking up in the far west, isobars closer together there, as you can see. But generally cloudy is fairly well broken. 2,000-3,000 foot bases, tops of around about 6,000-7,000 feet. And more areas are likely to see breaks in that cloud. So it kind of is possible for flying on Friday. I think quite local flying, though. Just keep an eye on the gametes and on Form 215 and the TAFs, because I think there will be some local variations. Now, as we go through in towards Saturday, so we find the winds increasing across western areas and also cloud increasing in the west during the course of the morning. Look at the rain there coming into Ireland. It's knocking on the door of western Scotland, western Wales and southwest England by the time we get through to midday on Saturday. And then during the afternoon, it just slips its way eastwards, so that by the end of the afternoon, it's into western Scotland, it's knocking into western parts of Wales and into southwest England. So non-VFR across most western areas during the course of Saturday afternoon. Elsewhere, actually, it's not bad. Bases of around 3,000 to 4,000 feet, tops about 8,000 to 10,000 feet, and maybe a little hazy again, and the breeze is picking up, but it's not too bad. However, all change as we get through in towards Sunday. Low pressure moving through Ireland. There is that rain, look, moving north and east through the country during the course of the day, becoming quite windy as well. It may well be that parts of Wales and southwest England clear to heavy showers through the course of the afternoon. Maybe that it turns brighter into the Midlands as well, but a swathe of rain moving through during Sunday. A lot of uncertainty over the timing of that rain. Things may yet change. So again, it's a case really of keeping a very careful eye on the forecast going into the weekend. And being able to spot these occasions when there is that uncertainty in timing is one of the things that I look at Aviation Weather School. And I have a single place remaining on my classroom-based course, which is going to be held on Saturday the 15th of November between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. here at Weather School HQ. Come along, we'll have a great day together as you'll learn how to spot weather windows 5 days in advance, how to make the most of forecasts that you get from official sources, and I will build your confidence in weather and understanding forecasts and making them yourself, so you can go away and be more confident that you'll be flying more and flying more safely. To book your place on the course, just use the QR code or go to weatherschool.co.uk. That place is waiting for you. Your course cost includes all refreshments, your lunch, everything that you could possibly need. Okay, I will leave you with that for now. Have a great and a safe flying weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.
Before we go on, I should probably explain this. I stupidly fell off my mountain bike. I wasn't going very fast, but frankly, it was pathetic. It was just a bit of a wobble. Off I came, and then there was this kind of crack, and I thought, that didn't sound good. I persuaded myself it was a bit of a stone, and thought I'd just sprain my ankle, but clearly I haven't, and I've broken the fibula. And for anyone who understands these things more than I do, apparently I got told today it's a Weber B/C type fracture, whatever that means. I've got no idea.
I don't know.
Weber.
All I understand...
Sounds like a barbecue to me.
Yeah, I only understand fractures in terms of spars and bolts and things like that. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Henry, when he does the edit, will flash up a little X-ray. Who knows?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Blimey.
Not that good. But anyway, that's what that's all about.
Should we check out what's in the news?
Let's do the news, shall we?
Okay, who's first?
You are, Ed.
Am I? Oh, well, in that case, it's really good news because friend of flyer Mark Greeners-Greenfield, who's the founder and boss of Ultimate High, and obviously occasional contributor to Flyer, he's been awarded the Cumberbatch Trophy by the Honourable Company of Air Pilots. And that award is for outstanding contribution to aviation safety. Greeners was recognised as a masterful instructor in upset prevention and recovery training. That's UPRT to you and me. HCAP cited that Greeners' reputation is not only built on technical knowledge, but also his outstanding ability to teach and his instinctive understanding of how people learn under pressure. And all of us here have flown with Mark. He is brilliant. Yeah. And we're not just saying that because, it's Greeners, but and we've all witnessed him teaching people like Guy Martin on telly. And it's fair to say there's few people who do it better.
That's very true. Very true.
I know he sat there going, what do you mean there's people who do it better?
I'd never heard of the Cumberbatch Trophy before.
I had, only because I'd read of the awards.
Yeah.
So,
I'd been surprised if you hadn't heard of something in aviation.
Something, yes. Yeah. But no, that's
Well done, Greeners.
Yep.
Yeah, that's very well deserved. And Yeah, no, Greeners does a fantastic
I
job.
wonder if he does mountain bike training.
He'd been shaking his head in desperation at you if he did.
Yeah, it would be. It would be. What's next then?
Well, there's a new airfield, and it's going to have the name of an iconic British manufacturer.
Is it Miles?
No, it's de Havilland Field.
Whereabouts in the UK is it?
Unfortunately, it's not in the UK, it's in Canada.
Oh.
De Havilland Aircraft is consolidating its various operations, basically at a new airfield it's building just outside Calgary in Canada. Construction starts next spring once Canada is thawed out after the winter.
Right.
De Havilland will build 3 aircraft there. The DHC-515 Firefighter, that's the water bomber one.
Yeah.
The Twin Otter, DH-6 Twin Otter, which is still in demand.
If you got one of those, that's on my bucket list. Can I have a go, please?
There's a new version of the Twin Otter out, actually, the classic 300G, which they launched at the Paris Air Show last summer. The third aircraft it's going to build there is the Dash 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's probably the bread and butter, I'd have thought.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. It's obviously having to work with not only local government, but national government, and everyone's very enthusiastic about it.
I bet.
I think there's plenty of land in Canada, so they're not pushed to find a patch.
But it's still cool to hear of people making new airfields.
Yeah, and they're going to employ 1,500 people there, so it's a big operation.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good news.
It's very, very
Don't
good
forget,
news.
I want to go over Twin Otter if you go on. Okay, so I guess it's me next.
It is.
Yes.
So on the 1st of October, not that long ago, the CAA rules changed around licensing and a couple of other bits and pieces.
Yep.
Do you think that this is not really a quiz this time, but do you think you understand them all, you know them all? This is part of the simplification process.
There
Tranche
was,
1, as it were.
To be fair, the CAA did produce quite a good simplified guide.
They
Yep.
did.
Yep.
They did. We did a video on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
They've done some videos on it. And as if that's not enough, they've got a series of webinars coming up. So if you are interested in airplanes or microlights, Thursday the 16th of October is your day. If you're more of a helicopters and rotorcraft person, then you'll be looking for Wednesday the 22nd of October. And if you're into sailplanes, in cooperation with the BGA, you're looking for Wednesday 29th of October. Now, these are all free. Obviously, the CA, not even the CA have got enough cheek to charge for that. Then you just need to register for the webinar. So I won't read out the URL because it's long and boring. But if you go to the Flyer website and just look at the news story around CA webinars, there's links all the way there, and I'm sure the CA have got it on their website too. So no excuse. Go along, learn some stuff, and it'll be simple, I'm sure, while the CA work on Tranche 2, ready for next year, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Do we know what's coming in Tranche 2?
I think at this point in time it would be more sort of speculation and other things, but I think there are some good things in there generally.
Yeah.
I think we've seen from the CA's GA strategy that they produced in the vacuum that the DFT left. There's some good stuff in there as well, and the CA kind of looking to get rid of some stuff and to delegate. Some
Delegate.
stuff. And
Delegate
I
is the
think,
keyword.
personally, the cynic in me says that's not so much of a philosophical wish to delegate. It's more like this is going to cost us less money if we get someone else to do it.
Or we don't have enough staff.
Or we don't have enough staff or money to employ any others.
But still, delegation.
But we'll
from
take
them
it. We'll
is
take
good.
it. Whatever the motivation is, we'll take it.
Yeah.
And I think there's some good stuff coming along.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Look forward to that. Dave, have you got some trainer news?
So, Skyborne Airline Academy has ordered 5 Piper Seminole DX aircraft. This is the aircraft that's powered by 2 180 horsepower Delta Hawk engines. This is the V4 diesel engine. And they're going to be delivered probably at the end of 2026 or 27 after it gets its type certification. Piper says the Seminole DX will offer 35% reduction in fuel burn, which on a twin is quite a lot of fuel.
Yeah.
It'll also offer a 32% increase in single engine climb rates, which is important for a twin. It kind of limits the performance, and a 70% higher single engine absolute ceiling. This will be a first for Skyborne to operate the Piper twin, because although they've got 11 Piper singles at their US base, mostly they've been operating Diamond aircraft at their UK base at Gloucestershire Airport. So be interested to see how it goes. I'm guessing that probably Delta Hawk want to keep the first batch of these aircraft within the States.
Yeah.
Because let the engine prove itself.
And this was the collaboration Delta Hawk and Piper was announced at Oshkosh this year, wasn't it?
That's right. It caught everyone by surprise, really, because there'd been no word of it, really.
Well, not that a diesel Seminole had been on the cards,
It was going to be
off
a
and on.
Centurion, wasn't it?
Centurion for a few years. There was one aero Friedrichshafen where all of a sudden this was going to happen, and then it just vanished.
I mean, I think for a while the Seminole was kind of like the airplane that schools were buying for multi-engine training.
Yeah.
And then along came Diamond and the DA-42, and to a slightly lesser extent the P2006 twin from Tecnam.
Yeah.
And it kind of ate their brunch.
Yes.
As it were.
Yeah. So they're
So this
aiming
is
to
their
take some of that
Take
back.
some of that back, yeah. But at Oshkosh they didn't have an aeroplane, did they?
They had a wing with an engine on,
Yeah.
and did you say hoping to deliver end of 2026?
Well, they're hoping to get FAA type certification
Which
towards the end of 2026.
seems possible because the engine is certified, isn't it?
And the airframe is.
And the airframe, so it just needs the.
I mean, and Piper know what they're doing when it comes
Yeah.
to certification. So they're not, it's not their first rodeo, as they
Yeah.
say in America.
No. Well, see how that develops.
Yeah.
Of course. An American aircraft with an American engine fits in very much with.
Bought by a British company. It's the first customer.
But to be kept in America.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Skyborne bought what was flight safety at Vero Beach.
Yeah, that's right.
So they have a US base.
Yeah.
That's where Piper's based as well.
Funnily enough, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Short delivery flight.
Yeah. Should taxi.
Just push it across the ramp.
It's ready. Come and collect it.
Yeah. Well, it's the end of the news. Shall we talk to our guest?
Absolutely.
Welcome to Owain Johns, new boss of the BMAA, the British Microlight Aircraft Association. So, Owain, tell us a bit about joining the BMAA and what were you doing before?
So what I was doing before, I was working in education, the education sector. I did 23 years in secondary schools, various leadership roles. And then I've just done 5 years up until this change of role in apprenticeships. So similar skills to leading an organisation.
Pay attention at the back.
Well, maybe.
What was your apprenticeship in? No, only joking.
So it's about 100 days since you joined as CEO to the BMAA.
Thank you.
How's that been?
It's been really, really enjoyable. I think there is always the case with a new role where you're learning new skills, meeting new people, interacting with new organisations. So there's a little bit of a kind of honeymoon period in that respect. But we've got a really, really good team at Adderbury, which is the premises for the BMAA where we're based near Banbury. A really experienced team. It's a real pleasure working with them. And it's great to also be working for the membership rather than being a member. So yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it. It's still early days. And it's a pleasure to be here.
Right. Well, we did meet at the LAA rally and we had a quick chat about things. You said then it was too early to talk in any detail, but you did say about 3 priorities you had. The first one being the tech office.
Yes. So the tech office. I mean, just practically at Adderbury, we've got a relatively small team. We've got our membership and licensing downstairs, and we've got upstairs. We've got our tech office team, and we've had a couple of challenges this year in and around capacity, I think. And that was my priority back in when was it? The LAA rally now, end of August. End of August on that breezy day on a Sunday morning, wasn't it? And it's really about putting the capacity back into the tech office because we've got a wealth of experience, and we just need to make sure that our members are dealt with promptly and issues are resolved quickly. And we're very good with our permit renewals, for example. But if they've got minor mods, major mods, and also approvals for manufacturers, we need to do that promptly. So we've got recruitment. You mentioned it 2 weeks ago, I think.
That's right.
And we've got a lot of really promising applicants, and we're interviewing next week, actually. So yeah, really, really positive.
Great. And you also mentioned about you want to build the membership, which I think anyone in an association wants to do, but you really want to sort of try and build the younger membership.
Yeah, this year we've had a youth week, which we need to tweak a bit. We need to make that a little bit more across the year. So flying schools and flying clubs can choose when they do their youth day rather than a specific week. But we also need to appeal to a younger audience. That's not just about inspiring the youth. For example, I was at RAF Syerston. We were at the LA Rally. We're talking about people, but they're not really in the disposable income situation. You might inspire them, but they're not going to be buying or stepping into a microlight for quite a while. So really, we've got to say to ourselves as an organisation, how can we lower our target audience for BMAA membership? How can we get a younger audience? So that's what we're looking at.
Yeah, there's been a lot of changes. Well, there has been some recent changes to the PPL licensing, which we've got a couple of news stories on this week about. It's going to be quite beneficial for microlighting.
Yes, it is. And we've been talking to our members. We had a webinar only last week about the licensing changes. We've got a number of pilots, myself, who've got the original PPL, in the brown envelope, in the brown folder, kind of grandfather rights and stuff like that. How will that change from the previous 13-month validity to the 12 and 24, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, they're the practical details. So we've been talking to our members about that. But I think the alignment and the currency in and around microlight hours counting towards other license options is incredibly beneficial. And I think that flying schools will recognise that. Younger people on reduced budgets will also recognise that. And that means that if they're on an hours building route and a commercial route, then they count now. The microlight hours count. So I think that will be I think it will be a game changer for flying schools, whether it's SEP, microlight schools, and also for the microlight fleet as well.
And we're certainly seeing an influx of affordable and very nice quality trainers that are going to elevate the flying training options for people, aren't we? And it's particularly in microlighting.
Yeah, and I think you said the word affordable. I spoke earlier. I said more affordable because at the LAA rally when we met, Dave, there was a wealth of rather nice microlights, high-end microlights. Certainly, pitching for a certain market. But I have had conversations with a number of manufacturers, and they're recognizing that if they take out or they just lower the spec a little bit, they've got some really quite interesting trainers there that will be a viable alternative to an aging 152 PA28. Putting fuel in and measuring it in litres and not gallons, those sorts of things.
Yeah, but how are you going to persuade some of these old flying schools to get rid of their 152s and PA28s, which they can slam down and the undercarriage will take it? How are you going to change that?
Well, firstly, you've got to look at the maths. And I think the bottom line, the Excel spreadsheet, your P&L will make quite a difference. Litres, gallons, first discussion. And then secondly, you've got to demonstrate to the flying schools that the modern microlights are robust and they're appropriate for training. I do think, and I'll be a little bit controversial when I learned to fly at Shobdon. I used to see 152s coming around, bang, 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 every time on the stall warning. And I think, if you've got to teach with a little bit more finesse, and you've got to appreciate that actually we're not just going to do circuits and bumps. We're going to actually, teach the flying skills that are needed. But, C42s, they've been in existence for a long time in the microlight schools, Sky Rangers, for example, and they're proving longevity and they're proving value for money. And also the feedback from the pilots, dare I say it, but if you walk out of the flying school and you say, would you like to go and jump in that Eurofox or that Pipistrel or that Dynamic, or would you rather go and jump in that 152? Or that PA28, I don't know, it's your favourite aircraft, Ed. If you want to go and jump in one of those, it's a bit like saying to somebody with a driver, my daughter, just passed her driving test. Well, would you like to go and do you learn to drive in a Morris Minor, or would you like to go and learn in the latest Peugeot or, Toyota or whatever with some emerging technology and Bluetooth and things like that? How are we going to appeal to a younger audience? Give them something that they can connect with ultimately. And, the latest fleets of microlights, they do that. So I do think we've got a bit of a hearts and minds job, because when I've spoken to a number of what I would say traditional GA flying schools, they're saying, yeah, but we know what we know. We know our 152, we've painted it. It's still the same broom, et cetera, et cetera. But I think you've got to really look at the bottom line. And the bottom line, I was talking to Pete, BGA, and he said the Eurofox as a glider tug has kept at least 5 or 6 gliding clubs in operating, because they couldn't afford to run their Chipmunk, they couldn't afford to run their Pawnee. And the running costs of those aircraft, and the Eurofox with the 915 916 on the front is proving to be an able tug. So if that's keeping gliding schools functioning, gliding clubs functioning, I think the same thing could cascade down to GA schools as well. But it will take time. It's a bit of a hearts and minds job, and we are collecting the data. We've got a number of manufacturers who are working with us, giving us the stats, and ultimately, you look at a 3-year cost model on running costs. I think it will be compelling.
The direct operating costs on the kind of lighter end, effectively Rotax-powered aircraft are significantly lower than they will be if you've got a Lycoming or Continental. And the lighter weight of the Rotax is also a benefit. I think we saw back in 1994, a long time ago, we started reviewing aircraft with Rotax, and I think the what was it called? The Katana. Was probably the first one, and the GA schools were all like, we don't know this, our engineers don't know this, and it's taken a long time. General aviation is a pretty conservative place, so it's tough to change minds. But I think when you get, it's not only are we all getting older, but the fleet's all getting older as well. And getting much more expensive. And so I think the door's ready to be pushed open.
I think so, and we've got microlight schools that have run successfully Eurostar, Skyrangers, C42 with 4,000-5,000 hours on, and they can demonstrate that is a much more cost-effective option, and their Rotax is proved. The 9112 is an absolutely fabulous,
it's a brilliant engine, isn't it?
It's absolutely superb. Power to weight ratio, reliability. I've been across the channel this year, no problems at all, without hesitation. I think the days of when I first started flying microlights, some of the early two-strokes, 503, 447, you were regularly practicing your PFLs, but that's not the case. I mean, you carry on practicing them, but it's rare that you'll have a problem with the 912. They're fabulous engines.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, for sure.
Well, let's launch into our main subject then. How can we keep flying affordable or flying for less? I mean, microlights are an obvious place to start, aren't they?
Well, they are. I think they're an obvious place to start. The syllabus is a little bit shorter from your the full license, let's say. They're affordable from a running perspective. We've got, syndicates aren't new. When I started flying as a 13-year-old with my dad, he had a share in a JODL at Shobden, and syndicate ownership, I still think, gets forgotten, and that's not a new concept. It's not a new concept, but that makes it more affordable in the first instance. But I do think you only have to click on A4s, and you can see the range of microlights and affordability there. And microlights now, there's another friend of mine who's picked up a nice little thruster, which he takes up with his son and daughter. So there's that sort of infusing.
Not at the same time.
Not at the same time, no. But his son is 16, does all the flight sim. He's an air cadet, but he can go up with his dad, and in the relative comfort. And I think this is a bit of a flex 3-axis thing. The winter's coming. He says, well, yeah. He says, in the winter, I just drag out the thruster, or he calls it a thrasher, actually, or something. And he said, it doesn't matter if it gets wet, it doesn't matter if it gets muddy. And he's got a 582 on the front. It does guzzle the fuel. But £3,500, that's affordable.
I know when we've done our value challenges in the past, that the 3-axis microlight sector on A4s has been a strong area to go and find that value, isn't it? So.
Yeah, there are, but the shadow and the thrusters, you can buy that stuff for cheapest chips.
Cheapest chips,
and it's affordable. But the shadow owner I was speaking to at Plaistows, he's put a lot of time and effort into it, and the fact is he can work on it. And he can modify this. And he was talking to me about a modification. He would like to change the prop, and he'd like to change the gearbox to a slight bit more thrust and a bit, just a bit more performance.
Was he running that as an SSDR, or had he kept it 2 seats?
He's kept it as 2 seats.
Okay,
yeah. And that
still hasn't found anyone who wants to sit in the back.
It would be quite tight.
Yeah, it would be. So I think I'm happy.
It would be very tight for somebody of my height. Yeah.
Hold on, I'm Ian in the back of a shadow.
I wouldn't be able to do that at the moment. That's for sure.
But he pulled it out of his container, and again, storage. This is a wing fold. No, it's not a wing fold on a shadow, but he lifted the wings off and put them in a rack. That evening I'd flown a little SSDR 9, which is a trike. And again, the wings folded into a container. All right. So storage, I've got fully rigged hangarage, which is not that cheap. It's a nice airfield. But I do think that's another way in which microlights can be made more affordable, because the storage options, again, hangarage, but it all builds up, doesn't it? Insurance, running costs, the licensing costs.
Insurance and hangarage are the big numbers, aren't they?
They are. Well, I think, and it's a BHPA perhaps, because if you look at the Mini Fox at Lidway.
Oh yeah, if you're SSDR,
the insurance for that is something like £85 a year.
Mm-hmm. Membership of the BMAA, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like bargain.
Yeah.
So I think the SSDR side of things, perhaps we can talk a little bit more about that as well, seems to have really been the real cutting edge of low cost flying, but also engaged in that flying.
Well, I guess you got a BMA maybe seeing more of that, and obviously you've got the sub 70 as well, haven't you?
Yes, yeah, and I think the sub 70 SSDR, they're quite difficult to distinguish because you can go and buy a sub 70, you can fly it without a license,
Right.
and then where does a sub 70 become an SSDR? And it's to do with the weight of the trikes or the weight of the 3-axis aircraft.
Yeah.
And actually a sub 70 flex wing microlight is quite lightweight. You can't put luggage, you're a bit limited on your fuel.
Yeah.
So actually you could legally go and do that, but flying schools really push an awareness and some dual training before jumping into.
Presumably no one actually
A sub
buys
70.
a sub 70 and flies it without any training.
I think you'd be surprised.
I would be.
Well, I when I say, if you take Facebook Marketplace and you take, various things like that, people go, I'd like to go and have a go at that. They watch a YouTube clip and off they go. And I know from talking to the BHPA, they were saying they have some concerns about unregulated flying.
I guess ultimately, if people are doing that, I think they'd be stupid to do that personally.
I would agree with you.
But the fields aren't full of them either.
No, but I think
Maybe
it's
that
perhaps,
survival instinct kicks in after a while.
yeah, and there's low energy, low speed,
Yeah.
various things like that. But I think there's a few have a go heroes who have watched it on YouTube and go, yeah, I can do that. So I'm not
YouTube all over, isn't it?
I'm not advising that. I'm not advising that. But I think it's
So let's clear up sub 70 kilograms.
Yeah.
An SSDR is single seat, deregulated.
up to 300.
Up to 300.
Yeah.
300 kg.
Yeah. And that was the question about the shadow.
But the sub 70 isn't a max all up weight of sub 70.
No, it's the
is it?
aircraft.
It's the aircraft.
yeah.
Whereas the SSDR, the 300 is a max.
Is a max.
Yeah.
Is a max.
So actually, we have a number of aircraft in our fleet where they might, and you picked up on the question about the shadow, have they taken the rear seat out? Have they taken the seatbelts out and put a fuel tank there or put a luggage carrier or something like that? And then they could fly at SSDR. And it just gives them a bit more freedom to do the modifications, which is what Ed picked up on. But I think this owner is wanting to ensure that he can still take people up and it's still on a permit. But I do think it just gives them opportunities. I know of a couple of shadow owners who have modified aircraft, tried this, tried that, and it just gives them a bit more freedom, really, but doing it all responsibly.
Because I'm guessing quite a few of your lighter trikes have probably gone the SSDR route.
Yes, and I think some of our older trikes where people are tending to fly them on their own, they can say, right, well, let's take that rear seat out and put a luggage bag in there, and then I can keep flying it. So that's affordable.
Yeah.
I think that's to my mind, that's probably affordable and a good thing for people who are experienced to decide that's the way to go. It's probably not the ideal way of bringing new people in.
No.
Come and have a go.
No.
Really.
And I think people go and do a trial lesson. People go and do a trial lesson in a 2-seat microlight, and if they then saw a single seat one over there, they think, oh, I'd like to have a go at that. I think most flying schools will say, well, let's train you up, and then that could be an affordable route for you. But I do know there are a number of people who are flying SSDR type microlights, and they've bimbled around in the local area. They've done that a little bit more, and then they've said, actually, I'd like to go a little bit further. I'd like to travel a bit further. What's next? And then it's that stepping stone to a full microlight license. So I think it's a definite way in which to encourage people into the sport. Speaking personally, having flown an SSDR trike last week, great fun, brought back memories of when I learned to fly. Really, no pod, you could just see everything. But then I thought to myself, when I jumped in my microlight, I thought, right, I've got a little bit more power, I've got a bit more comfort, and I've got a little bit more speed as well. So if I want to go places, I know of a number of people, SSDR trips where they'll put all their luggage and baggage and they'll go bivouacking and stuff like that, and it's great.
What's their luggage? Like a matchbox?
It's a whole art. There's a number of pilots I know who share stories of their tents and fitting into this and fitting into that. The little panniers here or a bag above their helmet and stuff. So they can fit it in and they'll carry the load, but they're not doing it quickly. They are pottling along and enjoying the view. So it depends what floats your boat, really.
What is your microlight?
Mine's I've got a share and a quick R. So P&M quick R with 1,400 hours on it. Built in 2000. It's about 19 years old. So I think it's it's a fabulous machine. Flew across the channel in the summer down to Chambly. Came back from Dover to Oxford in an hour and a half. So they're capable machines. Yeah.
And what's your view of of what we're seeing as the new breed of microlights that are coming along in the 600 kg category now? And obviously, because some people do grit their teeth when we roll out the word affordable with some of those.
Yeah, and I think you'll see some people say light sport microlights
Yep.
and some of the marketing in and around that. I mean, from a licensing point of view and for signing off and all those sort of things, they're still termed a microlight, but that's a capable aircraft.
Yeah.
And actually, we had this discussion at the Plaistows Club meeting. We said about the word microlight, and we're talking to a couple, and they said, "Well, we say we've got a 2-seat aircraft," and there's still a bit of stigma attached to the word microlight. And you look at those very capable 600 kg light sport aircraft or light sport microlights, and are they affordable? I don't think they are, because they're out of my price category. I'm assuming they're probably out of most of our price categories.
Yeah.
But they will appeal to a certain demographic. And glass cockpit performance. I flew in a 916 dynamic at the LAA rally on the Friday, I think it was, on the Saturday. Wow, incredible performance.
Yeah.
And incredible fun as well. And I think you can get hung up on the weight, but actually you could have easily flown that out of a farm strip, no problem.
Oh yeah.
No problem at all. So where does that define you? Fun and farm strips, to me, that's fun flying as well.
Yeah, I know there seems to be a number of aeroplanes that are 150k plus. There is some stuff though that is sub 100k, and I know people again, shiver a bit when you go, that's affordable, but everything has got expensive now. Your typical family hatchback is like £30,000 now. So
I think it's a shame, and aviation is as guilty as this as other areas where we do tend to become a little bit tribal about stuff as well. I'm a flex wing pilot, cost me cheap as chips, and then someone goes, well, I've got a 2-seat VL3 that only cost me 200 grand or whatever they cost, I don't know. And then, but there are other people go, well, I've downgraded from my jet, I've gone to a Malibu. That exists for them, and part of the difference is there may be people go, you know what, I used to fly this 4-seat relatively new Muni, cost me a fortune, can't really afford that anymore, don't need 4 seats, I've got this 2 seats, same performance, a whole load of farm strips, I'm loving it, I'm still in aviation. We need, it's the more we subdivide, the less helpful it is. I think we are a community of aviators, whether we fly 70 kilo trikes, or sub 70 trikes, or whether we fly King Airs.
And
we all fly.
I think picking up on your point about tribal, that's something microlighters as a whole, as a community, have done incredibly well, because there is less of that us and them. Although actually there's still a bit of healthy banter about trikes or 3-axis and stick fiddlers, or you've got the heater on and various things like that.
Are you soft if you have a heater?
Well,
as you sit there in your Michelin Man, battery heated.
Yeah, that's true.
Heated grips, heated vest.
So it's cheating. It's like you're going, I have no heater, but I've got this comfy heated suit.
Let me see your frostbite. You're not a true microlighter.
There's all sorts of tricks like that. But I do think it is a bit about it's flying, it's fun, it's enjoyable, and actually that definition of those microlights, they have to, they have to be short field performance, they have to be in and out of farm strips, and they don't need 1,000 meters worth of tarmac to get off. But some of those are hot ships. We'll welcome them, because I think that they're fun flying, and that'll probably welcome more people into the BMAA. I try not to use the word microlighting then. But the benefits in being part of our membership, I think it's important. There's a lot of experience of running those types of aircraft and the technical issues and the technical challenges as well.
Can you have a syndicate around a microlight aircraft?
Well, I'm in a syndicate, yes.
Yeah. Just sort of clarify that point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a syndicate. We've 4 of us in a quick car, which is probably now worth maybe about 15 or 16,000. So just let's round it to 16. So that's a 4K share that I have. I've got 3 teenage daughters. Okay, all right. Okay, yeah, all right. 2 of them have just learned to drive, so I know about balancing costs. So I can only make it affordable by being a syndicate member. So obviously hangarage is divided. Our insurance is a little bit higher because there's a little bit more risk around the premium. But on the whole, that's affordable flying. That's back to your point. Oh, I bought this, I bought that. When I used to have my own Pegasus Q quite a long time ago, I bought that for £4,000 or £5,000. So I've used the same sort of equity or same amount of money to have as a syndicate ownership in a capable machine that I can get to the Isle of Wight in an hour from Oxford.
Just in case you're interested, I did spot on A4s a Pegasus Q912.
912. They didn't make a 912.
Well,
Pegasus.
It's listed as a.
Oh, there must be. You need to check that.
Well, it's 6.5. 6.5 they're asking for it.
Is that a Quantum?
Quantum,
Yeah.
yes. It is.
Okay, yeah, that's a good value. Yeah.
That's worth buying just for the price, just for the engine.
Just for the engine, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's the 80 horsepower engine.
Personally, I think syndicates and a way of making that possible are the key to getting people to not only into aviation, but the key to keeping people in aviation. I really believe if you don't get into a syndicate, and it might even be a syndicate of one, which I know that wouldn't be a syndicate, but you know what I mean. I think, going into that hourly rental thing and waiting for people, which is just not a great way after a while of experiencing aviation. If you can choose the right people, then you're golden. If you choose the wrong people, it's a nightmare.
But I think it's also flying is a social thing.
Yeah.
People enjoy talking about flying. People enjoy going places. People enjoy spending time together. So if you're in a syndicate, there's a shared experience there.
Yeah.
And I think picking up my point about microlighting being a social experience, quite often my experience of a GA traditional flying school can be a little bit cold. And I don't know if I'm being a little controversial there, but it's you come in, you book your aircraft, you go flying, you come back. Maybe there's a bit less of that. But syndicate ownership, I think that encourages you to get past year 3, year 4.
Yeah, exactly.
The journey of a trainee pilot, get your license, take your family and friends up.
Yeah.
You go and do some local cross countries. And then now what next? Now, if you're a syndicate member and you're part of a club and you're regularly doing trips and you're encouraged to go somewhere, with a mentor, with somebody who can support you with your flying, I think that gets you past year 4 and year 5. I mean, I've been across the channel twice. So this year, Jeffrey, who's my co-pilot, he and I flew down there in May, and he knows about all the GARs and he knows about all those sorts of things because he's done it 15, 16 times. I've only done it twice. And actually, I've only done it twice. I'm a novice in doing those things, and it's stepping out of your comfort zone and having somebody with you. And I think that's the point about being a syndicate member or being part of a group. It's really important to further your flying.
Back to your previous kind of career, a syndicate done right is the continued education and apprenticeship into aviation from a flying school.
Yeah.
And that if you don't have that, all of a sudden it's like, oh my God.
And now what?
And now what? And all right, it's okay if you're what I can't remember what you called, have a go hero, then if you've got that kind of attitude, then maybe, but most people aren't.
No.
And most people like the social side of things, and most people like to do things right and understand things. So I think that's a great part of it.
Well, I think it's been a fascinating conversation, Owain.
Yeah,
no, it's been really good to have you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you've clearly settled in. It's still relatively early days, but you've clearly settled in pretty well.
But I think back to what I said right at the start, I think is we've got a really experienced team who have looked after me and supported me. I felt very much at home very quickly, and there's a wealth of knowledge and expertise there. So I think settling in, we've got a few new things planned for next year. We're going to do an inspector seminar alongside our instructor seminar, so that's a new one. We're going to do an awards evening, dinner and dance in March. So rather than the awards being presented at Popham normally in a marquee, which people are a bit preoccupied, they want to leave. Yeah. So we're going to hopefully celebrate and recognise achievement and contributions, whether it be people to club flying or maintenance or whatever it might be. So we're going to do that in March. So those are two, relatively new things, but there's other things in the pipeline, and then there's just there's the day-to-day. There's the day-to-day of just churning through things and making sure that we're operating and supporting our members.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for taking the time to come and see us.
Thank you for the invite.
I think we should get together in a year's time and do your school report.
Thank you. Well, it depends who's marking it.
Well, we are, obviously.
I'll get you another tea.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, what a thoroughly nice bloke.
Absolutely. I think the UK scene for microlighting has got a good future.
Yeah, and Owain is clearly passionate about flex wings and everything about microlighting. So I look forward to seeing how things develop under his lead.
Right, my quiz time. surprise for both of you.
What?
But I'm sure I know.
I
know
haven't
innit?
practiced for any
I
of
know,
this.
but you, I'm sure you'll know it. We're talking about the club. We're talking about the Flyer Club and why you should be a member. The first reason you should be a member, well, there's not the first, but one of the equal first reasons you should be a member is the free landing fees. For the free landing fees for October, as an example, who knows what they are?
I know.
Excellent.
Yes.
What are they, Ed?
So in October, your free landing fees are Perth, Leicester, Audley End, Goodwood, and save at least £52 if you do all of that. I've read that from Dave's notes.
There you go. And if you do all of that in a month, let us know. Send us proof. I'll buy you lunch at Wadswick.
That is a good challenge.
It's a good challenge.
Is anyone going to do that? I'd like to think maybe someone will.
I hope so.
Someone once.
I'll get a lunch at Wadswick
Paul
then.
Kiddell, famous for writing many flying adventures in Flyer, famously did all 6 from Scotland down to Land's End.
He did.
In a Eurostar.
He did.
So if Paul can do it,
Yeah.
you too. You can too.
Perth to Goodwood is going to be a challenge in a Eurostar in winter.
You don't have to do it in a Eurostar. You can do it in whichever aeroplane you want.
Yes, okay.
But yeah, absolutely. So other reasons to join the Flyer Club, apart from the fact you get access to everything we create on the website and you get full access to the forum, you also get access to member-only webinars. We do one of these a month. There's a whole library going back a couple of years with all sorts of subjects. And there's one coming up soon on the 28th of October, I think, if I remember rightly. Is that right, Ed?
That's me.
Is that you?
Yeah, it's me, and I'm talking about air-to-air photography and tips and tricks for that.
So that'll be an excellent webinar. Looking forward to that. We've
I
had
hope so.
Steve Morley doing license revalidation and derusting. We've had Mark Greenfield doing PFLs.
Award-winning Mark Greenfield.
The award-winning Mark Greenfield. We've had one from the AIB and all sorts. There's a whole series of them. We've had IMC stuff. Anyway,
And
loads and loads.
One gets added each month. So.
So it would cost you, if you are not a member already, it'll cost you £6 per month. I usually say per week by mistake, but it is per month, or £62 per year. That's got to be the biggest bargain in aviation. And frankly, we can only create what we create with your help. If we haven't got your help, we can't do it, I'm afraid. So please think about joining and investing that £6 per month. It's got to be the best investment in aviation, I'd say.
We'd say so. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, it's the big question of the week, and that is what caught your eye. So, Ian.
Is it me?
Well, I've decided, yes.
So you know that thing on Facebook sometimes it goes that members of the Dole Men's Club or Dole Women's Club or something like that. Well, I think I've developed inadvertently a little secret place to go looking, and that's in the About pages.
You shouldn't say I've developed a secret place to go looking on the internet. That's a bad path.
No. Okay, basically what I'm trying to say is if you go and look at the About pages for several companies, you find a lot more information there than you would normally expect. And one such is a company we all know and love, SkyDemon. So go check out the About page on SkyDemon. But apart from anything else, did you know, for a company that's been going since 2009, not that long in aviation terms, they've got 3 Queen's Awards for Enterprise?
I did know that.
You did know that?
I did know that, only because they're very good at, pointing that out.
Okay.
Because rightly so, that's something to be really proud of.
Did you know that Tim, I think you did know that Tim got an OBE in 2020?
Tim Obe? Yes.
Tim Obe, yeah.
Tim Obe.
However, there's another sentence that I'm going to read verbatim from here. It says, as a company lucky enough to make more money than we need, we recognise our responsibility to give some of that money away to good causes. We split most of our donations across these categories: pilot scholarships, national charities, and local causes.
Oh.
Pretty good news, I think you'd agree.
I knew about scholarships.
I knew about
Or
scholarships.
some at least.
The interesting thing, and the thing that I didn't realise, this is amazing, their charity giving has now exceeded £750,000. £750,000 they've given away.
Nice.
91,000 to pilot scholarships, 535,000 to national charities such as cancer research and other things, and £116,000 to local causes. That's
Fantastic.
pretty amazing.
That's astonishing.
It is astonishing.
Yeah.
Well done, SkyDemon.
Yeah.
And not only that, they're keeping pilots on track and safe and out of airspace.
Absolutely. And giving them the choice whether they want to fly north up or track up as well.
Yeah, but clearly where there's choice, there's no choice.
There's no choice. Absolutely. Well done, SkyDemon. Top work.
Very good. Dave.
Yes, well, I spotted last week that the Pulitzer Trophy is being held again.
Pulitzer?
The Pulitzer.
Is that for journalism?
Is that the Pulitzer Prize?
That's the Pulitzer Prize. It's not the Pulitzer Prize, it's the Pulitzer Trophy. And it's for an electric aircraft air race. It's actually more than one race. It's very complicated the way it's put together. It's actually 100 years since the original Pulitzer Trophy for air racing took place. It was held last week in Springfield, Ohio, which is home to the National Advanced Air Mobility Center. This is drones and electric aircraft.
People just make this stuff up, don't they?
I know, but it's very big in America. They love to making this stuff
Did you
up.
know Wadswick was home of the National Advanced General Aviation Broadcasting Unit?
That is a true statement.
That's a true statement, yeah. Anyway, in this Pulitzer Trophy, competing pilots and teams are flying zero-emission, fully electric aircraft across various platforms, from what they call eCTOL, conventional takeoff, and to eVTOL, vertical takeoff, and something called eSTOL, which is electric short takeoff.
We're going to have a moratorium on moratorium, yes, on acronyms. I feel.
Yeah. So they raced around a 50 nautical mile closed circuit triangular course in staggered heats, and working out who was the winner took a few days because of the various handicaps and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, the winner was a woman called, the pilot was a woman called Tyler Prather, who prefers to be known as Tyler P. And she was flying the Beta Alia CX300.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that's
that was over in the UK, wasn't it? This summer.
This summer, yeah. And second was another woman, Jackie Gaylor of the US Air Force Academy, and she was flying a pipistrel. I haven't said pipistrel.
No, you haven't said, and it shows.
Pipistrel Velis Electro. One of the guys we know, I know, called Alan Twiddle, who's a former RAF pilot involved in the UK's Future of Flight initiative, and he also has formed a jet brokers company as well, as you do. Anyway, he was there and he was flying in the event, but he said none of us other pilots could come close to their blistering lap times. So it sounds like...
What was he flying?
Well, he was flying a pipistrel as well. Yeah. And anyway, it seems to me that air race is probably a bit like the Royal Aero Club air races, where they're fiendishly difficult to work out, and everyone's got a handicap.
It seems to me that the Pulitzer Air Race Prize needs a bit of a marketing consultant, because A, if it's really complicated, B, if it takes 3 days to work out who's won, C, if we'd never heard of it before.
Yes.
It's like, what are you playing at, people?
I think the fact we never heard about it before is probably not very good.
Clearly.
No, the fact that you have a competition, then it takes 3 days. Can you imagine that? You go to a MotoGP or a Formula One race, and they go, right, come back in 3 days, we'll tell you who won.
I think part of that was because it was a week-long event and they've had various seminars and presentations along the way. The racing was on Sunday. They probably didn't want everyone to go home until they,
until they were a year older?
It's all about instant gratification. It's a race, but we can't tell you who won because we don't know.
Clearly. This should have been a reason why the spirit of innovation was not retired, because some Brits could have turned up and like raced around and gone, it's like, suck my wash.
Right, I think we need to move on now very quickly.
Yeah, Ed, how about you?
Well, okay, so this caught my eye this week, and it was something that I completely missed at Oshkosh this year, and it's not an eVTOL, it's an FVTOL. And you're all going, what is an FVTOL? Plus, it solves the question that I know some of you may find yourself pondering, and that's what happens if I need a tiny Chinook-style helicopter that packs up into the size of a suitcase. Well, luckily, that F in FVTOL is for folding. Because the Janus 1 from X Control Systems, which is snappily they call it, aka the flying suitcase, is a foldable vertical takeoff and landing aircraft.
Stick with us. This is worth it.
So when packed, it's the size of a big suitcase. It weighs 70 kilograms and will go in the boot of a car.
That'll cost you money on Ryanair.
It will, yeah. But you don't need Ryanair because you've got a foldable suitcase Chinook. So powered by a tiny turbine. The Janus 1 is capable of operating from a space as small as 3 by 3 meters and can take off and land on water if you fit floats. It can carry 200 kilograms with an endurance ranging from 40 minutes to 8 hours. Tops out at 100 miles.
8 hours?
8 hours. I'm guessing if you don't put a person in it, then it can be, because X Control Systems are into drones. So I'm guessing if you operate it without a person and you swap that for fuel or something, 8 hours. But with a person, 40 minutes. Tops out 100 miles an hour, will climb to 19,000 feet, though I'm guessing it's got no heater in it, so that's probably going to be a bit chilly. X-Control say the Janus 1's ultralight weight complies with regulations for ultralight aircraft in most regions around the world.
SSDR.
Yeah, it's good. It poses some interesting questions. And they say no pilot license or airworthiness certification is required. Well, in some places maybe, but certainly not here. Fly-by-wire control system means that it doesn't fly. It's just point with the joystick and it goes where you want. And as you can see from the video, this is just a brilliant thing. I showed it to you earlier, Ian, and you're like, I want one.
I'd like, yeah.
That looks brilliant.
I haven't asked how much they are, but...
No, we don't know. With the critical questions like how much, we don't know the answer to. But apparently you can learn to fly your Janus in 30 minutes. So, but yeah, like I say, no price as far as I could find, but I do think it's very cool, and I would like one for Christmas. X-Control Systems, if you're listening, please just send it to us here at the Flyer Studio.
Yeah. It did look pretty funky, or it does look pretty funky.
Yeah. I'm tiny Chinook.
I'd want a BRS as well, though, because that's Chinook. That's those intermeshing blades that you get are all a little bit.
I don't know that, and that looked. I was.
Where's the rocket going to go? It's going to go up between the two blades.
Up through the blades.
Take them out.
You'd have to be sure you really had a problem before you pulled the rocket.
I want you to explosively discharge the rotors, then I can.
Yeah.
You want to initiate a sequence, wouldn't you?
Maybe not. Yeah, but anyway, I think that looks brilliant, and that really caught my. I'm just amazed. Apparently, it was on the Canadian stand.
Do you know?
Which is kind of buried in the middle.
Where's the Canadian stand?
Well, if you look east from the control tower, at Oshkosh, you know you've got all the vendors and you've got the international area. Apparently, it was.
So then you've got a little bit of a French enclave.
Yeah,
with Beringer and a few other people.
Yeah,
Talking of which, it was Beringer's 40th birthday. Happy birthday, Beringer.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it was down there, and I'm not sure it was there all week. But I'm sad I missed that.
I think, we'd have noticed that.
Well, I don't. It's quite a teeny tiny thing. And, you know...
it's got like the length of one person, isn't it?
I know, yeah.
It's not that teeny tiny. I mean, compared to a Chinook, it is.
Yes, yeah. But I think that's brilliant. I imagine you could buy a whole load with your friends, get a Chinook, put them all in the Chinook, and then turn up at a fly-in and then have a load of mini Chinooks.
You could be wheeled out the back.
Yes. What could possibly go wrong?
I don't know.
So if you've liked any of our What Caught Your Eye, please tell us in the comments. Maybe something's caught your eye and, share it with us.
Absolutely. Dave, you got any events left this year?
It's very quiet. It's getting very quiet. But this Saturday in Dublin, there's Pilot Careers Live, our event for would-be professional pilots. And something for the diary, at Slape, fireworks flying on 5th of November, which is a Wednesday. Yep.
Perfect.
Yep.
Excellent. Good. Well, in that case, I think that just about wraps it up for today. Hope you enjoyed our guest as much as we did. There will be a special long version of that video that will be available exclusively to members first, where we talk to Owain about all sorts of other bits and pieces. So that's well worth keeping an eye out for. Thank you very much. Don't forget, join the Flyer Club. If you're not subscribed to our channel on YouTube, please do that. Please leave a comment and please click like. All of those help us immensely. But above all, join the Flyer Club, flyer.co.uk/memberships. Safe flying. Bye.
Bye.
Hello and welcome to the Flyer. Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome to the Flyer Show from the studio at Wadswick, where we got a few extra bits and pieces, but we're still looking for more. My name's Ian Seeger.
I'm Ed Hicks.
And I'm Dave Calderwood.
Tonight we'll be talking to Owain Johns, new CEO of the BMAA. He's been in post for about 100 years.
Did you
100 days.
Did you mean to say tonight?
I didn't. I meant to say today. Today. My name's Ian Seeger.
I'm Ed Hicks.
And I'm Dave Calderwood.
And tonight we'll be talking...
Still not tonight.
Have they not got, like, power?
This one doesn't, because I only had one plug.
Yeah. Just talk amongst yourselves. Are we back?
So who's next?
That's a beautiful light up there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, welcome, Owain Johns. We'll do that again. Well, welcome to...
Starts as we mean to go on.
On the outtakes.
Join the Flyer Club today and save hundreds of pounds with your free landing vouchers. Watch insightful monthly webinars from our group of aviation experts and access all the online content on flyer.co.uk from just £6 per month or £62 for the full year. You can meet new people, fly more and become a better pilot. Join today at flyer.co.uk/membership.